Hello, everyone. I'm gonna turn the audio
Welcome.
on here. Welcome. Just trying to get Marcel in the picture as well.
Yeah, man. It will work.
There's a lot of co-casters. Supposed to show you.
Yeah, can see myself on the stream. I see Chris waving.
Oh, there we go. That worked.
Do a little announcement with the actual link.
All right.
Yeah, there we are. Now it's
Cool, there it is.
on the stream.
Fun.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I think we're pretty much all set to get going here.
Good.
Hopefully you guys are gonna catch up with. I don't think there's too much of a delay, but yeah, it looks like we should be good to go. So welcome, everyone. Today we're gonna do the Publisher Town Hall. The main thing we're going to be focusing on first here is the new pledge levels. So welcome and thanks for joining us as we're all getting situated. Sorry about the little bit of delay getting started. We just wanted to show as much as we can, also show our faces. So down the lower right, Chris is going to probably take point here in a second once he's ready, and he's going to start showing off which the new bundles that we have available. So whenever you're ready, Chris, go ahead.
Okay, great. So we always plan to do an all-in pledge. Of course, we've been talking about it since the Kickstarter launched. But what were we going to put into this reward tier? And I'm so glad that we waited. It was very tempting. People wanted it. Would have probably boosted some of our revenue gained, but better late than never. But we wanted to wait because unlike the first Company Heroes where we had one all-in and then we added some more things, and it was like the real all-in and then there was another all-in. We wanted a little bit cleaner and simpler. One product if you want to click it. And nice and easy to know that you're getting every single thing in the entire game. So we had it figured out for a little while there, and we made some last-minute changes and I would say improvements. The discount is a lot higher, basically based off of what Brian championed for you guys, the backers. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, I think we're going to lose money on that. But he pushed for it, and I feel really good about it now. I think it's going to be what most of the all-in new backers are going to want. But before we do that one, let's showcase we're adding 3 reward tiers, and we can begin with the all-faction gameplay bundle. So this is a little bit of a half step up to the all-in. It is showing on my screen right here, although
should be showing in the stream.
Oh,
Yep.
great.
It is.
So this actually is a little inaccurate. Aaron's right now re-rendering this. He actually put all factions and the core set, but of course, because the US and Wehrmacht are included in the core set, this will come with those US and Wehrmacht factions in the second edition core set, then also the Soviet, the British, and the OKW. It will include Lost Brigades, Elite Commanders, all 3 mini packs, and then some ones that are, I think, gameplay. Legacy Map Pack is a completely gameplay based because it adds so much gameplay to the game. I mean, it quadruples it, if not more, by creating so many different map combinations that you can make, different map setups. And in second edition, the maps are even more distinct and more important than they were in the first one. There's a ton of replayability on each map. So don't feel bad if you're not getting the Legacy Map Pack. However, it does add a ton of gameplay and a ton of content. In fact, arguably more than any other expansion in the game, because each of these maps have been so carefully designed, cultivated, tested, tweaked, redesigned to create a unique experience on each one. So, I mean, just adds hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay and replayability. So that one's a no-brainer to have what we're calling the all-faction gameplay bundle. Couple choices, though, we decided to throw into this as well is Terrain Pack 1 and the Mini Flag Pack. And this one may be a little bit more controversial because we kind of see the Lost Brigades and ECC expansions and the mini packs that add vehicles and commanders as gameplay. But we just think this is a safer, better, this is our recommended faction. This is our recommended bundle to new backers who aren't going all in. This is what we think. You want to go in heavy. You want like a full game system, but you're not going all the way to all in. This is what we recommend, and we always recommend Train Pack 1. And of course, now with this higher player count, mini flag pack, this new little mini flag pack. Brian, when we were discussing this, do you want to say why you wanted to include Train Pack 1 into this otherwise gameplay?
Yeah, I mean the main reason really I would say starting off is the flagpoles, just to have that and also the mini flag pack. So if you want to able to handle 3 or 4 panel maps, this is kind of what we wanted to offer. Basically the core 2v2 style, if you will. Yeah, you have 5 factions. You can play 5-way free for all. But the core thing that we wanted to focus on here is really to have enough flags so that you're all set and ready to go. So that you have all the factions, all the content, you're not missing on anything. So your Lost Brigade, it's basically those building board extensions, you're going to have access to everything. And then with the flagpoles, you're going to have that just enough table presence where the tokens don't get covered up by units or anything. So you can easily see, all the stuff that you need to. So it's nice and clean. And and then you get the nice bonus of buildings, right? So buildings are always nice to have to kind of show the line of sight blocking. That's arguably gameplay at that point because it does block line of sight, so that's a key thing. And then the sandbags, the tank traps, and the barbed wire. It's just nice to have 3D just because it's so important to the gameplay. So we thought this would be...
It organizes the map too, right? It really helps organize the map, which is more important in these higher player count games.
Exactly. Yeah, we just thought this is kind of the critical thing. If you wanted everything for all factions, we thought this is kind of what everyone was asking for. So this is kind of that middle tier that we were trying to offer, where the best that we could offer for everyone, just get in. And, if you just wanted to have this, again, this kind of 2v2 focus, I would kind of say, bundle where you can play, Access versus Allies. You can, of course, play whatever matchups you want. But a lot of people are just asking for that, so this is kind of what we wanted to offer you guys.
And what were we going to... Oh, and I think this discount, actually, that doesn't include already the $20 plus discount or whatever it is for the 4-player bundle. So really, the discount a la carte is a little bit higher. I think it's actually $4.90 down to $4.49. But this is the discount on top of the discount that we included into the 4-player bundle. And this, of course, will unlock the Elite Stretch Rewards. All the bundles will unlock the Elite Stretch Rewards for the rest of the campaign, like the OKW setup trucks and whatnot. Should we do Veteran Essentials? No, we'll do Veteran Essentials next. That's kind of a nice one, I think, for our veterans.
Yep.
Here is the all-in new backer bundle. What? $614? I thought it was going to be $599. Was going to be $599, but that was before Brian talked me into including a 6-faction player set, a $50 6-player faction set of your choice. So this is going to come with all 5 factions, pre-made: US, Wehrmacht, Soviet, OKW, and British. And then the 6th faction is your choice. This includes every single item in the entire game, plus a 6th faction.
Yep.
It's over a $100 discount a la carte. So this is as pretty much as insane of a discount that we could provide on this. So it did go up about $15, but with that $15, we added a $50 player faction set in it. It will all come pre-packed in that war crate. We were running tests. It's going to be very tight. We also are going to have to maybe redesign just a little bit of that box. We're going to be careful about that Train Pack 3. Solo box is going to be redesigned anyway for 2nd edition. This will all, but the point is this will all fit and store into your war crate. We can do it. Marcel was trying every possible angle to fit it in. It's a really nice. Do you have a picture of that? In fact, I should probably post it. It looks beautiful, all packed into that war crate.
He's getting it.
There you go. Yeah, he's getting it. Is that full?
Yeah, it's almost now. I can. If it's full, I can't tilt it anymore. It's too heavy, but it's still looking good.
Don't throw out your back. Can you pop the lid on that, baby? And so
I think it will fit. We'll make it fit.
We're gonna make it fit. We're gonna get this is gonna come with all 3 terrain packs. Of course, 6. the Company Hero Second Edition core set, then 4 faction packs, ECC Lost Brigades, the Solo Fog of War expansion, Legacy Map Pack, all 3 mini packs, and the mini flag pack, and the Dice and Vehicle Trade Pack. So this is your all-in at a massive discount, and this is discount off Kickstarter prices, which are already discounted off of retail. So we have a lot of retailers contacting us because we don't have a retailer pledge, and we're letting them know that the second edition core set will retail for $119. So in core set, it's already $99, and a lot of the other expansions will go up a little bit, but that's where we're seeing that's a huge difference between what the actual final retail will be and whatnot. So anyway, that's $100 off Kickstarter prices, which is probably about $140 to $150 off of retail, I would say. And I think most importantly is there's no way we'll be able to support this vast of a product line on retail. So some of these expansions just probably won't be able to be available in every region, in every store, or anything like that. We will sell all of our extra expansions online when it delivers next year. But as we learned from the first one, without really focusing in and buying extra and supporting retail, a lot of this stuff will not be available. Now, we are going to do that for the second edition core set, Terrain Pack 1, some key essentials. We are going to have extras. But as far as full-on retail store support, we're not going to be supporting this whole product. So
just a few comments.
Get them while they're hot.
Just a few things we want to touch on. Basically the 5 faction, all faction bundle does not have solo, correct, Chris?
It does not.
All right, correct. So it does not. So if you want to add it, this is an ad. It's just that's kind of the divider where some people want it, some people won't. So it really just focuses on the factions. The other thing is that does show it there, the dice and tray pack. Someone commented there. Yes, it does have that. We didn't mention that a little bit. Which box coming into the 6th faction? Yes, you can obviously, a lot of people will choose one of the German factions, Wehrmacht or OKW, but you're free to choose whichever one you want. Also, moving on to the next one. Yep, so no extra factions. Yeah, we did state that. We don't, that's kind of that licensing thing that we don't really have, available to us at this point.
We asked, and they said, not now.
Yeah.
We asked, but they said not now. Not until it's fully fleshed out within the video game ecosystem. So
the next one, which box will you redesign? So we are going to be looking at a few boxes, but in particular the solo box, since that's going to be kind of, it's going to have so many new components that we're going to be redesigning that box. And the TP3 obviously isn't, the dimensions aren't set in stone yet on that one. The goal is obviously to get everything into the box that we possibly can.
Into the war crate.
Yeah, into the war crate. Sorry, yeah, into the war crate. So that's kind of where. So the other question is, follow up. Shipping will be a nightmare. Well, that's where the war crate. If you want to get the war crate, getting it shipped in the war crate is going to be cheaper. So just try to keep that in mind. So that's kind of
cheaper.
Much cheaper. So that's kind of where that bundle comes in. So if you're like debating between these two bundles, and if you want the war crate, that's kind of where that one kind of falls. But we're just getting a lot of requests for that 3v3. So I thought that'd be a good spot. That's kind of like Chris kind of, I was thinking if it was like the same, it didn't have it, So that's why we're trying to offer that mid-grade one here, the all faction gameplay. So if you just want to get the 5. You're all set there, and then you can add on whatever you want to it, right? If you want to add whatever other terrain packs, and add 2 or 3, or just, someone's adding another 1, go right ahead. But we are also going to oh, yep, there we go. We're all set again. Did you have some more points on that stuff, though, Chris, that you want to discuss in this one?
Yeah, just a little bit.
On the terrain pack stuff? Or go ahead.
For the train, let me talk about shipping a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the war crate, as we found out, even though it's big, it's heavy, it's an oversized package, it forces our fulfillment centers, despite their normal restrictions and limitations, it forces them to ship all that out as one item in one package. Otherwise, every fulfillment center tries to break out these orders into 2 or 3 packages, which can double or triple, at least double the shipping costs. So it kind of locks them in, and we didn't realize this the first time around, just how much more efficient it was. But part of just the relationship with these different fulfillment centers. If we give it to them like that as one item, they'll ship it out. But they will never voluntarily make, or even if we ask them, they will never send out a box as big as this war crate is. So they're not allowed to, or for whatever reason. The point is they'll split it all out, and which is not as good of a packing job. All of our war crates were packed really, really well. We're getting to pack them even better this time with a lot more styrofoam support on the inside. Miles got really good. He did really good with the war crates, and it's going to really reduce some of the potentiality for damage. And as soon as you have the fulfillment centers pulling stuff out of master cartons and rebundling them in, if they don't pack it just right and with enough protection, then we can run into some issues. So it's safer too. But the point is that I can go on the record and say that this all faction gameplay bundle the all-in bundle will be the same shipping cost as this all faction gameplay bundle, if not a little bit less, because that's how it just really creates a lot of efficiency. Also, depending on the fulfillment center, you had looking at $1 to $3 per pick. So this is a pretty big game system. So you have 12 items. You can end up with $18 to $22 just in pick and pack costs. Or the pick costs. So and the pre-pack crate bundles really help with that as well.
Just to clarify that,
we're going to try to pre-pack other stuff as well. Oh, go ahead, Marcel.
The question is, they're asking if you add the war crate to your pledge, it will be cheaper to ship, but that's not really how it works, right?
It's quite the opposite. Quite the opposite.
Pledge.
The war crate, frankly, if you're not getting what like the all-in bundle, the war crate is going to increase your shipping costs, because to ship those things separately are more expensive. We're going to warn everybody about this in the pledge manager. We're going to explain it, so everything is going to be very transparent ahead of time. We're going to have multiple updates on it, so you can help strategize your pledge manager, your final configurations. The war crate, if we don't put stuff in it, it is really unwieldy. It usually has to ship in its own box or only with one item, so it's not super great. Just adding a war crate won't decrease your shipping. Adding that war crate is going to increase your shipping, so you need to look at that before, and you'll be able to see it in the pledge manager. You can just add stuff and see it, and you're going to be able to see it in real time for your country. So no worries there. It's not going to be, there's not going to be any surprises for you. Anyway, just so you know, we will try to once we have everybody's data and the Kickstarter survey, we've got everything exported, and we also have our pledge manager export. Well, just from the Kickstarter survey, we will start looking at what else common configurations we can pre-pack, even if they're not going into a war crate, to also assist us with lower shipping costs when we get to the pledge manager. We want shipping and VAT and tax to be as absolutely low as possible for everyone. And I think we did a pretty good job on the first edition. We had pretty damn good shipping costs considering how big and everything we were doing. Of course, there's some exceptions like Switzerland and Norway were a beast, and of course South America was also a beast. However, within those 5 major regions, EU, UK, US, Canada, and Australia, I think we were really, really competitive. And we did that by losing money on shipping. But that's our crust of it. You guys don't have to worry about it. Where are we at next, guys?
So just to be clear, for the veteran backers, they don't need a second war crate for the new products, right? Or do they?
That's a good question. I don't think so. Let's go into the. Let's go ahead and go into the new Essentials bundle. All new products with a traditional 4-player all-in from before will fit, but if you have a 2-player, if you got the extra 2-player core set or the double 4-player core set, it will not. Those, as you know, probably really help to push the limits on it. The Veteran Essentials all-in, or the Veteran all-new products bundle will be fine. There is something else that you should probably know, that in order for this to fit in the final one, you will be taking your mini packs and most likely putting those individual vehicles and commander cards into their various faction boxes, which I think most people like to do anyway. So it's all the US stuff is right there in the US. The new faction player sets have a lot more room. Got a whole extra double component tray in there that we're designing that's going to hold your dice and CP cubes and infantry trays, sand timer, and there's also room for some of these extra mini vehicles.
And the turrets, of course, we already unlocked.
And turrets. How about those Jackson turrets? Those are my favorite. I guess those are only Lost Brigades, but I love those. Those are my favorite. But the Soviet turret's going to be a really nice little extra add-on, and of course the 76 millimeters for the Shermans.
Yep.
1 second, new backer. Sorry, he's looking behind the curtain here a little bit.
The essential veteran backers. That's
Where's
the one.
what'd you call the essential veterans backers? Here it is. Look at this streamlined bundle. Okay, we went back and forth quite a bit on this. Just right there, Heber. We went back and forth on this a little bit. So the original idea is because what's coming included with this as Elite Stretch Reward is this $16 pack. Like, we just couldn't really afford to put it into something unless it had multiple products, so we could dip into the profit margin on multiple products to help pay for this this Elite Stretch Reward, which for veteran backers is huge. It's an OKW upgrade kit with our very expensive double layered HQ boards, extra CP cubes, the new OKW support trucks, and of course, we're not going to stretch reward this. We're going to put infantry trays in there. That's all there is to it. You need them to have it be a full player set. So we know that. So we haven't announced that yet, but there's no way we're not putting that in there. We're going to put that in. So it's a whole little kit, and it's going to take your first edition OKW set, and it's going to upgrade it into a full OKW player set for free. And that's our big thank you to the veteran backers that are returning. Problem is pricey. So we were going to have a 4-item bundles that we were going to do. We're going to do update kit and train pack 3, Lost Brigades, and then we were going to in solo. That's what we were going to do, right? And then we were going to take out Legacy Map Pack and Dyson Vehicle Trade Pack just to kind of create a smaller, cheaper bundle with what we'd call quote unquote essentials. I'm starting to feel Legacy Map Pack's more and more essential. However, then we looked at possibly doing one that had one with solo and then one with Legacy Map Pack. We decided to make it simple, and I think a lot of people getting this will probably a la carte on a Dyson Vehicle Trade Pack or some of the other stuff, perhaps the mini flag pack, and that will help us out. So we made this simple. We reduced it. Lowered the amount of your buy-in in order to unlock access to that cool Elite Stretch Reward at $1 million, which we will hit. OKW upgrade kit for free. So that's the biggest advantage here, by the way. There's not really a financial discount on this, but it's how you can get access to that free OKW upgrade kit, which is going to be sold for $16. Really probably should be 17 to 18 with those vehicle infantry trays, but we'll update on that. Point is that if you're getting this, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to get it for free.
Sounds great, Chris. What else do you have in mind?
So those are our 3 reward tiers. We try to design these to be as effective and as useful for and efficient for backers as possible. We really do want to bring your required costs down and for you to be able to get everything you can as efficiently and as organized as possible. Along those veins, as you saw in our last roadmap, phase 3, we've unlocked a few little products. I think the most key one is the mini flag pack. Yeah. And I think it's somewhat self-explanatory, but we'll tell you why this is potentially important. The original Train Pack 1, which is a very nice, tight, organized little product, was really designed for our 2-panel maps, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
Now it would overlap into some of our 3 panels, not any of our 4 panels. So all first edition backers, usually if they want to do these big 4-panel maps, or if you're a Mortal Compass who likes to play 40 plus 8-player games, 4v4s, you had to get 2 TP wins. However, now with some changes with Terrain Pack 3 and some of Brian's map revisions, we are closer to being able to handle all of the maps with a single TP1 or the majority of maps with TP1, particularly with buildings and whatnot. So, but one thing that Brian also did is he really standardized the maps. Before it was like kind of all over the board, but now all 2-panel maps have 12 resource control points, right? 3 panels have 18, and 4 panels have 24, and that's That's solid. That's very consistent, right?
Yep. That's the new standard. Yep.
So if you have terrain pack 1 and you have terrain pack 3, and I'm going to get into that a little bit, that now between the 3 terrain packs, all your buildings and everything's going to be covered now for every map. Now, or for the exceptions, we're working on them, and we've got some few little design tweaks and some cool new uses of terrain pack 2 that our goal is to basically make almost every one of those maps work.
Now, to interrupt you just a little bit, that terrain pack 3, that's if the people, if we go with the factory. So that's kind of one thing to note with that poll that we're going to be having.
That's right. And because that pertains to this, we should probably get into a little bit of the terrain pack 3 discussion right now. We're going to be launching that poll, I think, tomorrow, right, Marcel? Or we're going to kind of go into the terrain pack 3 poll. We know what we want you to pick, but we promised you a choice, so we're going to present these choices. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So the mini flag pack basically includes 12 mini flags and allows those flagpoles, as well as 24 flags that are in new colors, which will just be useful, a little more useful for free-for-alls, as well as solo or co-op games. Provide some extra flag colors for the AI. If we're putting them in there, we might as well make them different colors, and it'll give you guys a few more options. So
the pink flags will fit the OKW as well.
What was that, Marcel? The big flags will.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. So here's the mini flag pack. We kind of were putting this behind a stretch reward, and then just because we've never done that, everybody else does that. We're not gonna make a lot of money on these. This is a little bit of a gift to the backers. Sort of an at-cost item. It's gonna add not to bore you with the back end, but it adds support and freight and customs VAT and expenses and little cartons to put them in, logistics, and it all costs money. So that's the reason why we put these non-real profitable items as stretch rewards. But we're going to take that out. We're going to change that. In hindsight, I just don't like making products as stretch rewards. You're going to add an add-on. Just let them buy the add-on. Don't make it a stretch goal. So we are pulling these off the Roadmap 3, the mini flag pack, as well as the Emplacement pack. They're going to be available later this afternoon, along with these new reward tiers. And we're going to replace those stretch goals for the same amount, 825 and 855, with the first one is Brian's third specialty sort of theme-based solo AI commander or cooperative AI commander. I think that was the tactical assault commander that assaults and puts smoke down when he attacks.
That was the fourth one. I couldn't remember earlier. Yes, I was talking with Marcel earlier. I was like, I know what it was. I was so excited about it, but I couldn't remember the name. Yep.
Yeah, these new little solo commanders are a ton of gameplay and really cool. The regular ones are nice. These ones almost make it a slightly more scenario-esque, I think, because the commander's going to operate so differently. They're going to have a special ability that's going to really transform the shape of the whole game, regardless of what map you play it on. Like the airborne commander dropping guys down in behind your lines, and for example, and the assault commander will. Amongst other things, when he assaults you, he's going to smoke that hex, which is a really cool Lost Brigades commander ability. Yeah. So that's going to be 825, and 855 was, Marcel, the Super Fortress plastic map tile. So just like the Cathedral.
855, I think.
Yeah, 855. It's just where the Emplacement pack was. We're pulling those off, making them available, and we're adding new stretch goals for 825 and 855, which we will definitely hit. Anyway, this is a Super Fortress that Brian designed. This is sort of based off of what the Super Fortress bunker is that we're going to show tomorrow. That you're going to choose between, for Terrain Pack 3, between our double hex destructible factories, splittable factories, and this 5-hex Super Fortress. But regardless of whether you get Super Fortress or not, you will have this Super Fortress as a plastic tile, similar to the 12 Points Bridge tile and the bonus Cathedral tile.
Right.
It will allow you to add them to the maps, as well as give Brian some extra tools in his designer toolkit when he's making maps in the future. If he knows you guys all have this Super Fortress tile, he can now start putting in multi-hex Super Fortress bunkers on more maps, and of course you can put them on your custom maps.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
some of the-
Yeah, on that note, I just want to interrupt a little bit because that it's funny in first edition, the cathedral. At first, I wasn't a big fan, but once we kind of got the rules tuned a little bit, it became a blast for me. So now with I've been in particular really loving the second edition bunker. So now that it basically gives you AP damage when you're attacking outside, I thought basically this mega bunker. I really want it on the Hill 331. So this tile will allow us to not change the artwork, but able to basically play that that map and then any other maps in the future that we want to throw that on. It'll just be a lot of fun, and because you can get in there and fire at each other inside. So just really exciting.
Yeah, and it's massive. It's 5 hexes, so I mean it's the same hex count as the cathedral.
Yep, just a little different shape, but yep.
Yeah. But this one we're going to learn from our previous and our previous forays. Let me pull this on. I'm going to give you some inside behind the scenes Discord team chat here, and you can see some of the initial designs for this 5 hex cathedral. That's showing up on. You saw my screen.
Yep. Yep. The mega bunker.
The mega bunker. Look at this 5 hex thing. So what we're going to do is first off, I have some ideas. We're going to change the top of that. See how that top's very similar to our current bunker? No. We're going to make this a little much taller, a little bit different. It's going to have a big cement strip around the edge. But this will show you the shape. All of the top texture will be recessed so that everything can sit on it really nicely and flat. We learned that from the first edition bunkers. We are retooling those bunkers, the molds for those, so that those will be flat and recessed as well, just so your infantry trays can balance on there a little bit. I think that was Moral Compass's top 7th grade.
Yeah, it was
top 7th grade. We're gonna fix it. That's gonna be fixed, and of course we're gonna incorporate that in here. And then also this roof will come off. So unlike the cathedral, we have to pull the whole cathedral off. This roof will come off so that you can keep it on the board and still see the units and move them around in there. And it will also segment into 3 different pieces. So you'll have the 2 double bunkers, which is going to be extremely useful for Stalingrad and Arden Forest, which have double bunkers on them. So now it's going to be a 1-piece item and with removable tops, as well as, and then you'll have that central bunker, which you can use as just an additional bunker on any of your other maps as well. So this is really cool, and I'm really hoping you guys don't choose it because
otherwise
maybe we can make it available in the Pledge Manager, possibly separately, but between this choice for TP3, this is what we want you to choose. But it is your choice. Which is these double hex factory buildings. And why we want to do this is because this will add, because now that they're splittable, when we just wanted them splittable originally so that we could destroy one side, because all double hex buildings can be destroyed 1 piece at a time. The exception being the cathedral, but that's more of a multi-hex building. But also by incorporating 4 new individual standalone buildings, and as you can see, these will look just fine split in half as buildings out on your map. It's going to really supplement TP1's look. You'll be able to break up your scenes a little bit with the TP1 buildings and these factory buildings, just cosmetically, but more importantly, it brings, this is the final step we needed in order to make all of the maps, or most of the maps, I should say, work across 2 panels, 3 panels, and almost all the 4 panels. And with a little more design and adjustment on our part, we will get there so that only the most rarest map will require more than 1 TP1. It supplements TP1 to just puts us right over the edge that we can now, a single TP1 will handle pretty much all of the maps. Here you can see it handles all. Here's the column. This is how many TP1 buildings that you need if you have TP3. And what we're looking for is 8 or less. And look, we've got it covered all the way for every single 3-panel map there is. Starts to break out a little bit with 4-panel maps. We got this one with Frozen Fork, which Brian's working on some little edits and adjustments to bring that down. And then it even handles our first 2 4-panel square maps, which I'm in love with. If you watched our 2v2, hopefully you didn't, because me and Marcel got crushed. But if you saw that, at least could see beyond that awkward, embarrassing moment when the playtesters trounced us. You can see how cool that freaking map was, and to have that extra depth really changed it a lot. As you can see, we're really close on Winter Storm, Rails and Metal, Lorraine, and the Volga, and we're going to get there. And what makes that possible is these TP3
Factories.
Yeah.
factories. So that's what we really like. It's not just beautiful. It's not just got some functionality to it, but it really, it adds a lot of functionality and sort of superpowers your TP1 and TP2, so that the goal for second edition is that you have one set, TP1, TP2, TP3. Your buildings are going to cover all of this crazy map increase that we had. How many maps did we have the first time around? I think 16.
Yeah, somewhere
And
around
now-
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
16.
right.
Now it's over 40. And it's not just 40 throw-in maps, 40 really well-designed maps. Brian did a killer job with these maps. It was one of the biggest things that, I don't know, he's done a lot, of course, but that was huge, I think, for second edition, where every map is a delight and balanced, or if it's not balanced, it's asymmetrical in a very balanced way. So great job, Brian.
Thanks, man.
I don't know if I've said it enough. What a great job. This guy is a hell of a game designer, and I think he's got a shining career ahead of him in the game design industry.
So, Chris, we were discussing about these. If you play against the AI commanders, you can choose about 5 factions. So you can play for yourself also on 5 factions. Means you have already 25 options to play with. Times 40 maps means you have 1,000 setups. You can just keep on going and going. It was dazzling me a little bit yesterday.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it.
it's kind of saying, did you guys want to play this game for the next 50 years? Because you can. Yeah. Talk about overbuilding. Future proof.
Yeah, but maybe we did too much. So if we ever make a new game,
do we have any
there's still
questions? Do we
complete
have
heroes.
we covered a lot of the basics. I hope you guys are pleased with what we've done. I hope you know that we are trying to make things as efficient for you and make you very happy. And that's why we're making these reward tiers based off of your guys' feedback. So the whole team's really doing their best, and we appreciate you guys are giving us the feedback very politely. It's nice, and a lot of constructive criticism or requests. I really like the tone across the whole Kickstarter. Great tone, I think.
Yeah, very supportive.
Yeah, very supportive. Really nice.
We maybe have one more mini pack we need to explain.
You want to talk about, well, OKW Upgrade Kit, I think, is somewhat self-explanatory. So you want to talk about the Emplacement Pack? Okay, I'll talk about the Emplacement Pack. The Emplacement Pack is this is a thank you. Sorry, the whole thing for some first edition backers who did not get their British Emplacement Pack the first time because they didn't buy Terrain Pack 2 the first time. We merged Terrain Pack 2 with British Emplacement Packs. There's like 40 guys that bought just the British Emplacement Pack, so unless they bought Terrain Pack 2, they couldn't get it. And they've come back, and because only putting emplacements into British player set, we just did not make it really accessible to them. So I don't know how many of these we will sell. Frankly, it's still pretty useful for new backers, and it's really cheap because while their British emplacements will handle their British faction set, it is nice to have these emplacements for OKW because you build them around the flak guns, which you can drop all over the map, as well as US and Soviets, US and Wehrmacht's forward MG bunkers. You put an MG in the center, and now that's your MG bunker. And then, of course, the Soviets' forward buildings. You convert the building into it turns into an emplacement. It's no longer a building.
Yeah.
So it's useful. It's useful. It's not just for those 50 guys from first edition, but that was sort of the motivation. And it's there and available as a little extra for new backers that want to support their other factions with those cool, heavy, indestructible, fortunately very expensive emplacement models. Oh, and the OKW setup trucks. Okay, so we have 2 options on the OKW setup trucks. You can probably see it on the roadmaps. We're showing a couple of different examples there. And let's pull up our roadmap.
Which one you want to show?
So as you can see on this roadmap, which is about to change, as soon as I log off of this meeting, we will We're going to pull out this Emplacement Pack mini flak. We're going to put them on the store as add-ons, and then we're going to put the Tactical Assault Commander here and the Super Fortress plastic 5-hex map tile right here. So as you can see here, we got a couple different options. These are initial designs. Our 3D modelers have been kind of under the gun, really perfecting some of the Train Pack 3 items. So, but we'll have these wrapped up quickly, particularly once we come to a choice. So you can see some of these already have the sandbags built around them. But what we'd like to do is make a little bit more of an elaborate model, like the ones with the, and put this gun on there or the infrared spotlight on the back and build this out a little bit and make it look really a little bit more set up.
That's what I want.
A little more of a building. Yeah. And then you're going to be able to put those into a bridge, into the emplacement models. So they'll look cool on their own. They're going to look less truck-like and more like base-like a converted truck that's been kind of torn down and constructed into a base. Very immobile. These trucks basically look like you could just drive through those sandbags, don't they? Doesn't look like a full deployed base. So we want to do that deployed base look, borrowing from these elements, and then you can put them into the British emplacements to really add that emplacement look in the sandbags around it. If you don't have the emplacement pack or you don't have the British pack, I mean, you can also put sandbags around it, but we're also designing them so they'll look good just on their own. But it'll mean that you can kind of interchange them a little bit and make them look even more built up. That's our design goal line. Now, if it doesn't work for some reason or whatever, we'll build the sandbags right into the model itself. But I think it'd be really cool to incorporate them in the emplacements, which are found in the British faction player set, and this little $16 emplacement pack, which also includes give you some extra buffers. And that's that. Do we have any questions?
We do have some questions, and then did we want to show off the infantry bridge?
Yes.
Or maybe you can get that ready as I can get some questions for you. Someone asked, will the final spreadsheet be available for those in Kickstarter who want to kind of see that coverage level, that kind of have that 100% option?
Yeah, I'm going to launch it today. I'll give you, we're going to make it public and we're going to link it today, and you can make comments, and we'll link it today in the big update.
And then
it's so big, it's going to take me a little bit because we're going to add the add-ons and pull it all together. We have all the pieces, but so give us a little time after this video ends to actually launch this big update with the new reward tiers, but we'll put it in that.
Yeah, and as soon as the updates come out, the pledge levels will be there as well, right?
As soon as that's right. And so I'm going to add them a little bit beforehand.
Cool.
So for TP3, either the factories or the mega bunker, choice by community?
That's right.
Yep.
Factories are, yep, that's correct. That's correct.
Yep.
And we actually have some bridges in the works as well. So we got two types of bridges that we want to put in TP3. The bridges are not big, epic, steel girdered Stalingrad bridges, because if we made that bridge, it wouldn't work on any other maps, and it's just a little too niche. Some might say the Super Fortress bunker is a little niche too, frankly. But so our bridges that we'll be using are designed to be able to be, they're a little bit more simplistic in design, and they're going to be designed so that you can put them end to end as well as side to side, and that way you could be able to use them and have 3D model bridges. We're talking about the full vehicle bridges on more of the maps. It just wasn't, it's not a real sexy miniature the way that we're doing these bridges. They're functional and they're cool, and it does make it 3D, but I don't feel like it really stands side by side with the Super Fortress bunker or the even cooler double hex warehouses, factories. So what I'd like to do, and they're smaller and they're a little bit cheaper, so what I'd like to do is, we're not going to present those as the third choice, and I'd like to see if we can put those in as a post-campaign stretch reward. We did so many post-campaign stretch rewards for first edition. As we confirmed our counts on things, and as we continue to do late backers and have late pledges, we actually kept those stretch rewards coming. Some of them got eaten up by our 1/120 to 1/100 scale improvement, but we actually did unlock quite a few. And I think that's one that we could possibly unlock during the pre-pledge manager or pledge manager. So we're going to keep those to the side. But here's just a first draft of our infantry bridge that we will be unlocking soon. we're going to unlock this by next week too. As you can see, this is how the infantry tray fits on it. We didn't make it wide enough to fit the whole infantry tray. Otherwise, it kind of looks like you could just drive a vehicle on it. And of course, these infantry bridges are used in Morro River and wherever else we want to put them, or you want to put them. The scale's a little off still, so we have some revisions. This is just a first draft. We got to bring the scale of it down, so much thinner planks and whatnot. But this is, we just got this back today from one of our 3D modelers. We're going to do some fine tuning on it, and it's going to look really cool and sharp on those, like particularly those Morro River spots. And this will be bridges that only infantry can go across. What else we got? We have some more questions.
Yep. Just for the graphics on the maps, feel free to look at them in Tabletop Simulator. I uploaded some more recent ones. However, they are not final. We will be going through them, so that's kind of just one thing I just wanted to point out. They're certainly not final. So, but again, point out anything. Feel free to message me on Discord. Anything you see in the TTS maps. We've already had some comments, but yeah, they're not final. It was really just my main focus was to get stuff in places where it needed to be for map design purposes. I am not the best artist on the team for sure, so that was kind of the main thing, was just kind of function, and then I tried to do cleanup a little bit, but it's going to be handed off to someone else before the final product. So yes. Next question is, what about the captured Panther Command Tank? Do we have that, Chris?
Ooh, that's exciting. Don't think I want to show Marco's preliminary design yet. Wireframe. I don't think we want to show it just yet. I think we just give him another day or two. He did show me a lot of different options. Marco's custom designing this for us with some gameplay input as well. I think we should hold off just a little bit longer.
All right. We want to save at least that one surprise, right? We can't give everything.
Maybe we can show the commander card.
Oh, we're going to launch that tier. We're going to talk about that tier 3 poll, because we basically took away your tier 3 poll for the universal vehicle.
Yeah, so
vote on it, and we just went boom.
Yeah,
this is what you're doing.
I'll just kind of give more feedback on that. So we're building this awesome commander, and I wanted to stay out of it as the designer. I really wanted it to be run by the community, but then when we came up with this kind of big stretch goal at the end, I just got really excited with this Command Panther. So I was like, we had so many awesome goals with it. I was ecstatic. So I was like, all right, it's got to be really, really fun. So what are we missing? What would be expected from it? So just some couple ideas that I really wanted to have focused on. Marcel thinks it's broken, so that means everyone pick that commander if you want to win. It's going to be a blast. It's going to go great with the first 2 tier abilities. I think it's going to be a fantastic commander, but we'll give the update as soon as we can on that one.
Well,
yeah, and he's already on the job. He's got like a wireframe version of it. He's going to show like these infrared kit that he's putting on it. He's using a very particular Panther model that's different than the other Panther model. Go ahead, Marcel. What were you about to say?
No, every faction can use it as a captured German vehicle. That's amazing. That's nice. Yeah. So
everyone gets Panthers.
Everyone
gets a Panther.
Yeah, that was the really got me excited. We're like, listen, what's the coolest vehicle that we could put in? And just researching it, and I'm like, well, one thing we don't have in the game that we've discussed on and off for like probably the last year is, what if a faction can capture another faction's vehicle that's in the video game? Is there any way we can get it? And we're gonna try to get basically one option we're considering is basically a little flagpole so that you can stick your flag on it to show that you captured it. So even if you paint your miniature, you could show that you got it with your other faction. So it's just I'm just really excited about it, because I thought the Panther, just kind of that OKW basically from Company of Heroes 2, having that Command Panther, it has that cool paint scheme in the video game, and I just thought it would be cool to have basically available for every faction, because that's just kind of one of the coolest tanks of World War II that everyone's always excited about. So I just got really stoked on that one. Yeah,
I just played a game with my older brother on Saturday when I should have been working on the Kickstarter. I was playing Company of Heroes 2. He captured like 5 tanks on steps. So I mean, it's a big aspect of. He didn't build one tank, not one, the whole game, on steps, which is a very large vehicle.
One note I do want to say.
All stolen. Yeah. It was all stolen. So it fits really well.
One thing I do want to say, it is going to be limit 1, because as Marcel stated, the Command Panther might be a little bit strong, so I do want it to be limit 1. It is a command tank, just to kind of balance it out, like those familiar with the U.S. Major. So, but we are looking to have multiple models, so that because it's going to be the Universal Commander, all 5 copies, so 2 people will be able to have it in a game. So,
which I think is enough. I mean, with our new draft system, which by the way is excellent. The draft system is the way to play. I mean, it's the rules. It's the new second edition rules. You don't get to just go through your 20 commanders and pick exactly the one you want, which also really increases decision paralysis that first round where you already have a lot of supply choices to make. Anyway, you deal out 3 if you've been watching the gameplay, and those are the 3 that you get to choose from. Anyway, it's great. So between the 2, I think in 5 or 6 player games, 2 should handle it really well, right?
yeah. So then we also have another question. Can you make it very clear what you get in each pledge, depending on what player count and panels number? So I think that just kind of an extension maybe of that Excel spreadsheet. If we can maybe, we'll try to do that too. I think try to focus on this is what we recommend for this player count. This is what you get, that kind of thing. We just we just got a lot of questions on that, so we do want to try to cover that before the end.
Yeah, is that back? I've redesigned that backer guide over the weekend, and I don't have it more focused for new backers and player count. How's that working out for you guys? For anybody who's on the video right now, does that help? We want a little more. We want a little more, like a recommended. This is a 4-player. I mean, we kind of have them in a little bit, but maybe the all-in is a little ostentatious. 6 players, we recommend that all-in. 4 players, we recommend the faction. All faction.
Right.
Yeah, and in the description in the bundles, we can also explain some more about what exactly which packs are in that bundle, so people will be knowing what pack is in, how many map panels, how many players, how many factions. That will be perfect.
Okay, and also we can even make some notes on that map spreadsheet that I was showcasing.
Yep. Does the War Crate, basically, I'm assuming this is the question about the all-in bundle. Does the War Crate bundle have one of everything you offer for a new backer? And I think that is absolutely everything, right, Chris?
It's everything, although it doesn't include that little sort of odd emplacement pack.
Yeah, so it doesn't include that, but basically the British faction box does have one
It has
in it.
It has that content. It has that Beaufort.
Right. So if you wanted to add, another one on, you obviously can, but you do get one in the British. So if you do pick a British faction, you'll have it in the British box.
And because it's optional, we wanted this like the one piece we kind of wanted to keep optional, so we didn't have to bring that up, that new backer all-in bundle price up, particularly since all of that content is in the British faction. Yeah. But otherwise, it's one of every single item in across the entire game system, of course, with not counting the update kit, which new backers don't need. And people who want to translate it, a translated language pack. The language pack's not included in this as well. If you want to get a printed version of your rulebooks and commander cards in French, German, Spanish, Dutch.
Yeah, we'll add these in
Italian.
Press Manager, right?
Yeah. Just so you know, the Company of Heroes, I'm not telling you not to buy a language pack, but the Company of Heroes is we will have all of these materials online for free, translated. It is a very non-language dependent game once you learn it, once you're into it. Like once you read the rule book, the components themselves, because we don't have a lot of cards that you're shuffling and dealing and you have to read them or anything like that. All of our building boards are entirely icon based. So like 98% icon based. There's not a lot of text there you need to know at all. So maybe that's new Centaur ability.
Yeah, really just the commanders. That's really just it.
Commanders.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because you only choose one commander in a game, like we were going to have these online. We have them for first edition. We have a gallery of every single commander. You can pull them up and click on it, and it pulls up on your phone very nicely. And they just set that you can put it on your phone and set it down right on top of your HQ board. It works really, really well. Just in case, like you can do this without a language pack, with using the digital components and without having to print anything. I just dramatically decreased our language pack sales, but that's all right. Yeah, just letting you know, it's like an option.
So biggest question I had was around having enough TPs and map panels for 4-panel, 2v2, and 3v3. So again, we kind of touched on that again, but we are going to have it in the spreadsheet. We are trying to basically get it so that if you ideally have one of each, we actually have a cool new idea that we've been discussing.
Tell them about it. Tell them about this idea. I hated this idea. I hated the idea for 5 minutes, and then I'm like, I love this idea.
So we had some requests about a year ago, and I was like, do we need it at the time? But for the destroyed buildings, a lot of people, few people pointed out to me, like, once buildings were destroyed, going into the rubble for cover was a big thing in World War II. So that's one thing that we're actually going to be testing now. Basically, we want to be able to make it so basically with those purple hexes, that infantry can go in them. It acts like a building for, like, basically you can't get pinned. Vehicles still can't go through them. However, you get one cover. So just kind of an option where you can walk through them, obviously, with the new 2nd edition rules. So they still block line of sight. But just something we're discussing, because the infantry trays should be able to just slot right in there, and then you could lift the ruined building and move your guy out. So just something that we kind of wanted to have. So I'm really excited about it. So
it's gonna allow him to make a few extra additional map tweaks to Trois Ponts, and I think maybe not Moro River, Monastery, and other maps. It's going to help spread out the building requirements.
Yeah, just
models.
Right, just especially on those bigger maps, just options for us to, when we're making new maps, we can kind of make it with these numbers in mind, so that we can have just an optional indicator on a map, for instance, to say, hey, look, make this one destroyed instead. So that way, if you have one of each, that's kind of our goal that we're going to be looking into, so that the map's all set to go. You could just put a destroyed one on instead of a full one on. Just things like that. We just want to consider and try to just offer, for all the map options that we have.
And we're going to be able to do it. I don't see. I mean, we're so close already. There's just a few more maps with a little bit of the final mission setup. With a few changes, we will have these maps covered with a Train Pack 1, 2, and 3. Like, we're really, really close already. Oh, of course, assuming the TP3 vote for the factories.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Unless really strong arming you guys in this choice. It's your choice.
I mean, unless we want a mega bunker on every single big map. I mean, that could be an option, but I don't know if everyone. Yeah,
Train 4.
Yeah, if it's anything like the first Kickstarter, Chris, he's been calm this Kickstarter, but
so calm. I can't believe we don't have a Train Pack 4 already.
We have 3 extra mini packs. We have a vehicle. All things he didn't promise to not do. So it's going the right way again.
No new vehicles, no new molds.
So make sure after you vote on the TP3 poll, make sure to say get the other one in a Terrain Pack 4, guys. I'm sure you'll be able to get them in.
Pledge Manager Terrain Pack.
Yeah. Yeah, in the Pledge Manager. Well, you can just slide it in and then you can just add it on. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Just prod him a little bit.
That bunker is already looking pretty cool.
Definitely.
Wait till we get that 3D print, and then I'll probably fall in love with it.
It's the illusion of choice. No, it is a choice. Right. I mean, you pick what you want.
Yeah.
They're both cool. I want them all, so that's why I'm just showing my bias, but
that's true. If they do choose the super bunker,
it would be lost of design work already.
Sell in the double factory buildings in Pledge. Yep. All right, that's behind the scenes. Thanks everyone for joining us. Is there any last minute questions?
Oh, here's a new one. Will it be possible to get the OKW truck base as an extra item? I think most people want to play 3v3 have more than 4 building boards and enough dice. So I think, are you talking about the trucks themselves, or are you talking about also the HQ? Not sure.
Yeah.
I think because we already that is that 1 million stretch goal, right, Chris?
So you're getting it.
So that
get it.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. So that is both please, even if one's a standalone pack. So that
Yeah, it is.
is the goal. So basically, how it is for the veteran backers, that is going to be a standalone box. So
Yeah, standalone.
right,
Yeah.
so that's going to be a
Yep.
standalone,
HQ
guys.
board. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's going to have the HQ board, the cubes, and the the HQ board, the cubes, and the trucks, right? So the trucks is going to
Yep.
be available to both. Once we unlock it, we're going to get there. All OKW faction boxes, and basically the
Yep.
basically you get one at that elite pledge level, and then you can also, if you don't get to that level, you're going to be able to buy the box if you want it. So we're trying to cover as many
Yeah.
bases as we can. We're trying to
Maybe
make
you don't
it.
know what? Yeah, but you don't want to play second edition. You're first edition, but you've always wanted to upgrade your OKW player set.
Yeah,
You can
so
do it.
right, if
It's
you just want to
$60.
get right, yep, if you want to get the update kit, just the OKW box. Once we hit 1 million, you'll be able to do that. So we're trying to give as many options, as many as possible as we can to you guys. We're just really appreciative, especially of our veteran backers who are here with
So
us again.
appreciative.
So
So appreciative. So glad you guys came back.
wouldn't be here without you
Really-
guys.
Really touched, actually, that you guys have come back and supported us as much as you did. So
Definitely.
thank you.
Yep.
All right.
All right, that should
Thanks,
be
guys.
it.
That was fun.
Do have
Go
go
back
ahead.
to work
Do this
again.
again sometime.
Yeah, Chris is gonna get back to work. He's got to work on a huge update,
It's huge. Yeah.
updating everything on the Kickstarter page and getting out that update for you guys. I will be available on Thursday for another designer stream. There was some
Yep.
requests for touching on the factions, a little kind of a shorter overview format. I was doing a bigger one on Slava's channel. We might get another one with Slava tonight. We'll see. We're gonna do Wehrmacht next. And yeah, any other questions for the designer stream, reach out. Any other questions you have, I'm going to try to leave time. So basically going to do the faction overviews, in a short, like ideally 5-minute per faction format. And then any
luck.
questions that you guys have, anything you want to see. Maybe I'll touch on a little bit more on Lost Brigades. I know I touched on that in the solo stream. But any other thing, any questions anyone has design-wise about the game, I will, of course, be willing to show off TTS, on the stream. So,
Yep.
thanks
And
again,
sign
guys.
up for the tournament if you're.
Oh,
still
yeah.
up for it.
Yeah, you can use the same form. So anyone that's interested, we had congrats Dugo again. Oh, did I spoil
Yeah.
it? Did we say we could spoil it? I guess we said you
Yeah,
said wait
we
a
can,
day.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dugo, congrats! Won the EU tournament, so he got the all in. So that pledge that we showed off, he gets that 6-player in the War Crate bundle. Boom! We're
And
gonna.
You can too.
You can
As
too.
a new backer, beat old playtesters.
Yeah, I mean,
and old members.
He was just playing the last week or so. So I mean, it's anybody's game. Join us for the U.S. tournament this weekend. We're probably eyeing 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern, somewhere around there. We will find out a definitive time and get that out to you guys. If not in this update, definitely before the weekend. But sign up. You can use that same form. It's all in the same spreadsheet. So that the key thing is that all you need to do is once you sign up and just show up, we'll have your information. So whoever wins, again, I think we're gonna do the same levels. One win,
Yep.
you get the Stug pack.
Mhm.
If you're the runner-up, you get basically the whole mini pack, all 3. And then this is credits. So if you already have one or something and you want to apply it to something else, you can do so. And then a new backer all-in bundle that we showcased tonight. So Dugo's got one. Dugo wanted to get another one. I don't know, Chris. We need some kind of rules. Maybe we need, like, if you compete in both, maybe the better of the prizes, so that Dugo can't just come in and trounce everyone again. I don't know. You're gonna have to come up with that.
Dugo's coming back for the U.S. tournament.
Yeah, but his name is now the
Oh.
Champ. That's kind of his nickname now that I gave him.
The champ's coming back.
Yeah.
Champ is back.
And
yeah, let's talk about that.
Yep, and that's on Slava's channel if you want to watch it. I would recommend starting with quarterfinals.
Perfect.
Because the quarterfinals was really focused on, especially if you're new to the game, really, really recommend there because the cast, I tried to go over a lot of the core mechanics as they were happening in that first video. So the semifinals and finals kind of build off of that expectation that you've kind of watched it. So, yeah, it was an exciting tournament, and yeah, feel free to check it out. But again, any designer questions, Thursday, probably targeting 3:30 or 4 o'clock U.S. Eastern time.